So, anyway, so Nick reveals is that it's like that's what gave him the belief that you can only be what you are. So, Judy calls the assistant mayor to see a surveillance tape after Nick gets the idea to look through something. And they find that the Jaguar was taken by two timber wolves. And these wolves have a tendency to howl for no reason. And so they track down the wolves, and here's something I want to mention. When Nick sees the sheep's wool, he gets an uncontrollable urge to touch it. And it's similar to trying to touch a woman's afro. You should never do it, but you just have a tendency to want to. And it's like, and there's a joke he makes towards like, you think when she goes to sleep, she counts herself. I mean, he'd never say that if she was in the room. So they track down the Timberwolves, and Judy gets through them by pretending to howl like a wolf, and it distracts them because they all go into a howl. So they go through the sewer system, get themselves inside an abandoned hospital, but they find that all the missing mammals are behind cages, and all 14, not including the Jaguar. And they're all out of control, and they act like the animals that they were before they evolved. And you have yourself a tiger jump scare where one of the animals just suddenly hits the glass. And when I saw this in the theater the first time, I did that, because I didn't see that coming. And I'm not sure if the kids in our theater did that, but the artist I followed from Mexico said that every time he's at a showing, the kids jump at that. So they figure out that the Mayor Lionheart, is the one that's keeping them hostage, and he doesn't want to reveal to the public that this is going on because he's a lion himself, and it would ruin his reputation. And so, however, when Judy is recording, but then her parents call, and it winds up screwing it up because they hear. And there's something else I forgot to mention. The parents were terrified that she was gonna be a cop, but when they figure out that she's just a meter maid, they immediately revealed. But then the two, like, what are those animals? They're her neighbors, the very loud people.
I don't know.
Like, they can hear everything she says through the walls, and those are some pretty good jokes. So so they're heard, and wolves are sent in, but they escape through the plumbing. And they get out, and they show the evidence. Mayor Lionheart is arrested, along with the doctor involved. However, they still don't know what is making the predators go this way. And the doctor in charge believed that it was just a biological thing. And Judy repeats this at a press conference because she doesn't know what else to say. And when Nick hears her speak these words and sees on pictures in the back of the savage animals wearing stone muzzles, it flashes him back to being bullied. And this makes him snap at Judy, and he points out that he saw the fox repellent that she had on the first day that he met her, but didn't bring it up until now. And he was going to work as her assistant, but he calls it off, saying, like, no, you've ruined the reputation of predators now. That's exactly what happens. In the city of Zootopia, predators and prey are 1 to 10 in this town, which means they're a very small minority. And we're then shown that Shakira's character, I don't remember her name. It's like, maybe it's Giselle. Gazelle, yes. And we saw her once before because Judy plays her song on her phone. And like we get like establishing shots of the town while the song is playing, as well as we see a recorded video of her on a large screen. And we also get a joke where Clawhauser uses an app to put his face on a tiger dancer, and like it had her voice mixed around to where it would say his name, and she's protesting peacefully against the repression against predators. Is like, even though she's a prey animal, her dancers are tigers, so she like knows personally what's going on, and she knows that like this is not. And this is the biggest theme of the film, is that there's like underlying racism between the predators and prey, where the prey are now overpowering the predators because they're larger in size. It's like I mentioned, Nick is beaten up because of this. And I feel like I should have saw that coming in that flashback, but I did not. I didn't. I usually avoid spoilers for these movies. So Judy decides ultimately that she's going to resign and become a carrot farmer. And back at her town, her parents are no longer racist towards foxes. If anything, they are now working with the man who was the fox bully from the beginning of the movie. And here's the thing, I didn't bring this up, but all the characters from her town except for her have very thick Southern accents. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Because it's like
farmers.
Yeah.
And so the fox sees her and apologizes for what he did as a child. And then Judy figures out that her father uses something called night howlers. They're plants to keep bugs off the crops, but if anyone were to eat these things, they would go insane. And earlier in the movie, Judy believes that night howlers are just the nicknames for the timberwolves because they howl in the night. But in reality, it's these plants that are being used. And it's like, okay, so Judy goes back to Nick and tells him what she knows, but she refuses to listen to her. And here's the thing. The Mexican artist told me that kids in his theater actually did cry at this scene. And yes, like Jennifer Goodman and Jason Bateman, they make a really good pair for this. So yeah, I understand. I wonder how the Spanish dub does with this, because I heard that from someone online that the Norwegian dub is very cheaply done because there's a decline for those dubs. Only like 7 people worked on it, apparently. So, like, Nick, however, recorded her, like, labeling herself as a dumb bunny and using the carrot. And they find the weasel, who is now bootlegging movies that are all parodies of different Disney films. You have Pig Hero 6 as one of the many examples. So the weasel says it's like Judy figures out that what the weasel stole were these plants themselves, the night howlers. And the weasel's like, no, I ain't telling. But they then take him to Mr. Big, who his daughter's is now gonna have a baby and is gonna name the baby after Judy. I think that was a funny joke. Weasel admits that he stole them because he was gonna sell them to someone, a ram named Doug, and they find that the ram has melted these plants into pellets that he would shoot. And have you seen Breaking Bad?
No.
My mom told me that the scene where he is mixing them looks like a chemist mixing drugs, similar to Breaking Bad. I haven't seen that show either, but like anyone who's seen the show would get that reference. So when the ram goes out, they decide to drive the train forward and take it straight to the police department. This goes into a chase scene, and the bus explodes before they get out. But Nick took the gun with some of the pellets. And they run to the Natural History Museum, where they meet the assistant the assistant mayor, who's now the mayor herself, the sheep from before. And then Judy figures out on the spot that, wait, how do you know where we were? And she is the actual mastermind behind all of this. And that she said that her job as assistant mayor is more or less glorified secretary, and she wanted the mayor be mayor herself, and the mayor was not treating her well at all. She said that she was like just to get the sheep vote. So she traps them into a pit with different things and shoots Nick with the gun. And he goes savage and tries to attack Judy. And she calls the police force saying that Fox gone savage, Judy down. And however, when Nick bites her, it turns out that he wasn't hit by this thing at all. They switched him out with blueberries. So and that she recorded her saying that she was going to keep shooting predators, and the police arrive and arrest her. So Nick is appointed as cop. The mayor is now thrown in jail, and the former mayor Lionheart said that he didn't know anything about this and was just trying to do a bad thing for the right reason by keeping the animals hot from the public. They get an antidote. Everyone's cured, and we get our final scene where it shows Gazelle performing with her Tiger Dancers, the same song, and then we get the credit scene with it. So that's the entire movie. There's no post-credit scene. Let's talk about this movie.